Hello, hello, hello. Here's Nika Comet, and this is my Saturday live stream. I was going to say Saturday night live, but this is pretty much what it is, because I promised myself to go stream regularly, and Saturday night seems a very good time to do it. I'm streaming both. Can you see this? My chair just keeps spinning. Um, So I'm streaming both on my YouTube and on my Facebook, and I'm doing this because I wanted to just talk with more people, um, not to miss anyone out. If you guys are watching it later, still please leave the comments if you want to talk about something specific. If you have topics for me to suggest. For those who already did it, I keep it all written in my little notepad. And I'm gonna definitely talk about some of them later, but it's surprising, but a lot of people want to talk about some personal aspects. Like someone asked me to tell a little bit more about how we created our band, Chase the Comet, if you don't know. Um, but I honestly wanted to, with these streams, I would want to concentrate on um, some general issues that you may have in your life and that I have in my life. And that's why I would want to talk about them, to discuss, maybe share some thoughts, share some experience, some knowledge that I got from some smart books. And today, what came to me is the topic dealing with negativity. That's what I would like to touch upon. Because I've been getting some negativity from, it's a very large topic. First, we all feel down sometimes, and, that's where negativity gets us from the inside. So with this, I get that feeling a lot, and every once in a while I have my ups and downs, and in those down modes, I'm trying to find that cure, that something that would help me to come back to my normal state where I'm creative, where I'm cheerful, where I'm glad to see people. Um, and the best cure that I've found so far is to really make a choice to be in a good mood, you know, uh, by doing something specific. For example, if you're attentive enough to yourself, if you analyze your feelings, hey, so if you analyze your feelings and if you know what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel good, apart from, like food or sleep or something like that. Um, for example, you love reading books, or hey, or you love going out with your friends, or you love playing soccer, or going to the gym and doing yoga, or just maybe just walking in the park. So the answer is obvious. You should go and do one of those things. Um, but what if negativity comes from outside? What if something pulls you down? What if some events or some people just pour that negative energy into you, and it seems to you that you can't do anything without it, like you can't resist, you can't, uh sometimes we can't get rid of those people who are annoying. Like you work with some people who are really annoying or negative, or even, even worse. Like what if it's your boss that really pulls you down, criticizes you all the time, and it seems to you that you have no choice, that you can't do anything with it. Um, so I'll allow myself to share my story with you. So since I was a kid, I was told that I was chubby. It was my super big complex, my biggest problem in my whole childhood. Seriously, because I was a pretty happy kid. Grew up in a full family, and my parents always loved me. So my biggest problem was, as I thought, extra weight. But like, how can a 9-year old have extra weight? I mean, yeah, it's possible, but it was not my case. I was not like super overweight girl, never. But anyway, every New Year I would make a wish to be thin. Like seriously, that was my New Year wish. Every day I would. I mean, every year the New Year's celebration is the biggest holiday, the biggest celebration in Russia. We don't really celebrate Christmas that much. For us, the New Year's is Christmas, and I would make a wish that I'm thin and beautiful, because in my opinion, you know, back in the day, if you were not thin, you were not beautiful. So, um, of course, every time someone would tell me something like, "Hey, you need to lose some weight," that would be a tragedy for me, and that would pull me down. So, why I'm giving this example? Because sometimes we let people do this to us. We have our, weak points, right? Our points of pressure, and then people would just push them. Sometimes, occasionally, sometimes not on purpose, accidentally, without even knowing, and they would offend us, right? And that would create negativity for us, that would create overthinking, or just bad mood. um so think about it, like how you let people do this, how this happens. Like what are your weak points, and how you let people manipulate you uh by just pushing those weak points. Sometimes it can be different. Like, for example, you can think, oh, I don't want people to think that I'm a selfish person. I had that too, you know? Um, and then people would ask you to do something, and you'd be very reluctant to do this, but then you would think, oh, but if I say no, they would think I'm selfish, or I don't want to help, or I'm ungrateful, or whatever. And you agree to do something that you were asked to do, and then it all turns against you, and it creates negative vibes in your life, right? So um it's always cool to analyze things like that, right? And come back to yourself and ask yourself what you feel about it. The second thing is when something happens, and this is actually happening right now. So a lot of people would comment on YouTube on my video, The Journey. Oh, like this is a fail. Like this is terrible. This is just your opinion. You have a right to express your opinion, and that's okay. But why would I pick it up and accept it as truth? I'm smart enough to understand, to separate um, what's true for me and what's true for other people, right? And I don't have to prove anything to anyone, as long as it's not a person who I have to live with, or it's not someone who is important. If you think it's terrible, okay. I mean, I don't care what you think. I had fun, and this is a win. Thank you, Uwe. But I mean, there's so many opinions in the world. There's so many people, and I'm not a dollar bill so that everybody like me. And it's the same with everything, right? Because people get really upset if they learn that someone said something bad about them, and they would be like, why? I didn't do anything bad. That was my problem back in the day. People would talk shit about me behind my back, and I would be really surprised. I would be, why did they do this to me? I didn't do anything wrong to them. It's okay. It happens. And if someone doesn't like you, that's okay too. It's not because you did something wrong. It just happens. It's life. And I'll tell you this. Honestly, I'm very, very proud of myself because um the fact that a lot of people didn't like Journey taught me so much that nothing before that taught me that much. If yeah, if I told that right. Um because this is really important to accept other people's opinions and give them right to think whatever they want to think, right? um I was never able to do that. I remember when Alex and I and some guys in Russia, when we started a band, there were those things called forums. Do you remember those? On websites, you could go into the forum, and then there was a chat, and you could chat with people on that same website on like a specific topic. And I remember Alex would get into fights with people trying to prove them that we're actually a cool band. But there were a lot of people, and you know what's funny, with some of them we actually became friends later. But he was trying to prove them that we're good, and they were saying, "No, you guys are shit." And that was okay too, because if at that time we would start thinking, "Oh, they're right, we're so bad, we shouldn't play," we wouldn't be where we are. And every successful artist actually has to go through it. You know what helps me with that? I read Queen biography, and there was a moment when I mean the band, the Queen. Um, so there was a moment when they went on tour with a band called Mott the Hoople, and they went to Australia. It was their first time in Australia, and it was horrible for Queen. It was horrible. People started throwing like bottles and something at them, and they had to actually finish playing before they actually finished. They had to get out of the stage because it was impossible for them to stay there. There were just so many things just flying at them. And well, as the book was saying, I understand that it was probably really, really stressful, and Freddie Mercury was pissed and upset and frustrated. But he said, next time I'm coming back here, you guys are gonna uh, carry me on your hands, or how to say that. Um, yeah, but that's the point. It's like what you do with it. If someone doesn't like you, what do you do with it? Do you take it on yourself? Do you take it as a truth, or you just keep going because it brings you pleasure, it's fun, and you're it's your self-expression. Um, Another thing, there was some kind of a, not a saying. What if you guys give me the word? That would be amazing. Like a wise story that's told by some wise person, with some kind of a like a meaningful story that is supposed to teach you something. So this, um, I don't remember about who it was, but I read it in some book that, for example, if you walk along the street and then a homeless person throws mud at you, it's like someone says bad words to you. Would you take that piece of mud and start putting it on yourself? Or would you just think, there's probably something wrong with this person? He's probably mental, or just angry and whatever, and you just keep going. Um, and that's the same with negativity. If someone throws something negative at you, would you take it, or would you just let it be and keep going? It's up to you. And I'm really excited to uh, every time someone says, "Oh, yeah, this is what I needed to hear today." This makes me feel so much better, and I hope um, this helped you somehow. If you need to deal with negativity, with negative people, negative comments, I hope this will help somehow. And I'll see you guys next time. So on Saturdays, it's gonna be live streams. On Wednesdays, it's gonna be a video, just a video, a pre-recorded video. Um, yeah. So this is it. I hope you liked it. If you didn't, I don't care. But if you liked it, feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. Maybe suggest topics for the next stream or for the next recorded video. Um, Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.